morning, everybody. It is Friday. I think it's April 10th.
11?
Oh, Lance says it's the 11th.
No, it's 9th, isn't it? No.
It's not the 9th. We
not
can
the
agree
9th.
it's
Today's
not
the
the
10th.
9th. It's the 10th. Good. Okay. We're going to even check the newspaper. All right. We are going to focus on core work today. This is Sarah Little, and you're in with us on gentle yoga. I'm really glad you're here. Go ahead and lie down on your belly like Miss Carrie Ann Little, and you can cross your forearms if you want. The dogs can get out of the way. It's going to be awesome. And I'm going to start us off with a couple of poems. Carrie Ann has suggested one for us from Shel Silverstein. So we'll start there. Lie on your belly. And you can take your forearms in front of you, or like Lance, he felt like taking his hands back behind. You can take that option as well. I'm glad you're here. All right. And as I'm reading, I want you to be focused on how you're feeling your breath as you inhale and exhale onto the floor. So they're just lying on their bellies here. That's where I want you to be. The belly rise and push into the back body, and then feel yourself fall in and contract, maybe falling towards the floor. Inhale and let yourself expand and rise. Exhale, contract and fall into the floor. Just checking in with your body. Shel Silverstein, Hug-O-War. I will not play at tug-o-war. I'd rather play at hug-o-war, where everyone hugs instead of tugs, where everyone giggles and rolls on the rug, where everyone kisses and everyone grins and everyone cuddles and everyone wins. Carrie Ann's in the middle of a cooking project. So we've got timers going off. Let yourself feel the floor here and feel your body. And we're going into core work. And notice your response to that. Sometimes I feel like, oh good, somebody's gonna make me do this stuff. And sometimes I just feel annoyed that core work is gonna happen in my life. So check in. Maybe you have an entirely different response than my response is. I'm going to start with gentle softening. Bend your knees, send your feet up towards the ceiling, and let your legs go side to side. It's this windshield wiper effect. Just notice how the feet are, how the legs are, how the hips are, how your body feels. And then let's shift that, so come with your legs upright and let your feet fall away from one another, so to the right and to the left, and then let them plop in towards the middle, and maybe they cross at the shins. So you're just waving your legs around. There you go. And switch which one crosses in front and which one crosses in back. So we just want to get some mobilization into the pelvis, into the legs. Feel movement there. And then go back to the windshield wipers, right and left. And try taking your knees further apart from each other and see if that changes anything. And then bring the knees all the way together. And let them go to the right, and bring them up, and let them go to the left, and bring them up, and extend them away from you. As you extend them away from you, thank you, you extend them away from you, lift your legs up and walk your feet back. So you're walking backwards. You lift one leg up and so you stretch it back, and then bring the other leg up and stretch it back. So as you're stretching, think long leg, like you're reaching off of your mat with your leg, trying to get somebody's attention. Maybe you're at a concert with somebody and you're just nudging them. Hey, you want them to notice you. Just nudge, okay? And then settle down. And feel how that affects the hip crease in the front of the body. So this space from the front of the thigh to the low belly. And see if you can feel that the pelvis coming to a more neutral space. So as we walk the tops of the thighs back, that we're getting a little bit more space across the belly. And then you could go ahead, and actually I'm going to invite you to do that. Tuck your toes under and lift your knees off. Yeah. So that's going to give you a sense of that elongation that we're going for. And then add a tug of your tailbone down towards your heels and see how that feels. Then add the lift of your belly button, your navel point. So you're just going to draw the navel in. It's not so much like trying to get it off the floor, but drawing it in towards the body so you can really engage through the low back space. And then add the upper back space by drawing the shoulder blades onto the back and reaching the center of your chest in towards the end of your mat. So you're feeling the whole front body, back body come online here. And then release. And just feel. We're going to play a little bit into the hip since we're on our belly. Go ahead and bend a knee and turn it out to the side. So you're going to sit in, okay. One of my teachers calls this crime scene pose. So you bend your knee out to the side. So you take your right knee out to the right. And then notice how that feels in your pelvis. It may feel, particularly in your low back space, you may get a moment of feeling a little bit of scrunchiness. So work your pelvic tilts. As you inhale, tip your tailbone up. And then as you exhale, draw your tailbone down towards your heel. Yes. And as you inhale, tip your tailbone up. And as you exhale, drop your tailbone down. So we're working around that hip joint there and looking for a little bit of softness, a little bit of access. As you're inhaling, the tailbone tips up a little bit. As you're exhaling, you're drawing the tailbone down. And then release this side, switch knees. So you'll switch the side of your crime scene pose. And you may notice that you've got a tight spot in there. It's okay to find the tight spot. Just explore around it, taking about 3 to 5 pelvic tilts. Inhaling, taking the tailbone up. Exhaling, dropping the tailbone down. So it's a subtle action. It's not one that you're going to see big on the screen. If you're looking over at the screen and going, what are they doing? It's very subtle, but it's that slight tilt of the pelvis that gets into the lumbar spine. The lumbar spine is a secondary curve in the back. It's a curve that happens after we're born, and it's an adaptation to standing upright. So it's more vulnerable a curve than your primary curve, your thoracic curve that rounds you forward. That's a curve that we're born with. The lumbar spine is a secondary moment. Go ahead and take your other leg down so you're back on your belly. And walk your legs back so you're broadening across the pelvis. Broaden across the pelvis. And then think about all of that engagement again. Tuck your toes under, push back through your heels, lift your knees off, tone the navel point, draw the shoulder blades onto your back. And the only thing I want you to change now is that you turn the tops of your feet towards the floor. So the tops of the feet are going to turn down. Not the insides, the tops of the feet, like that. Yes. Do you want to towel underneath your ankles? No. Okay. Take your hands near your shoulders. Lift the shoulders back. Keep your tailbone tracking and lift head and neck up. Exhale and release down. So we're not going to go super far. We're just looking for stretching the front of the belly as you inhale and lift up. And exhale and settle down. And really you can go like 3 inches is enough. Inhale and lift up. You can't really see these guys at all. We've got good butt shots for both of them. And release yourself down. Carrie Ann's going to go one more time so you can see. Inhale, lift yourself up, and exhale, release down. Nicely done. Okay, tuck your toes under, press it back. Take a child's pose space, as long as that feels good in your body. If child's pose doesn't feel good, then take puppy dog pose like Lance is here in the picture. That's hips over knees. Let your spine go long. And then play a little bit in your, when we come towards child's pose, this is taking us into the primary curve of the spine, into that thoracic curve, the kyphotic curve. And when you're in puppy dog pose, you get a little bit more of the lumbar curve action. So if you're in puppy dog pose, actually let's all come to puppy dog pose. So lift up and reach your arms out ahead, rest your elbows down. And then I want you to do a little cat-cow-like action in puppy dog pose. So you'll round, you can keep your head down, but exhale and round, inhale, and draw the chest forward, take the tail up. So you're just gonna wiggle in the body a little bit, finding those places of access. Come to neutral. And if you want to press back to child's pose, you can. You can stay in puppy dog. And just notice if your ribs are dropping down towards the floor, or whether you're working your nice long line of spine. I say that because that's the space where I let go when I get into this pose. On your inhale, come to hands and knees. And let's walk out the hands a bit. So I'm going to put my hands on the floor here. I want you to do cat-cow with your fingertips facing forward. So 3 times. Inhale and exhale. And if it's too much on the wrist, you can sit back like I am. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Turn your fingers out, thumbs forward. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Turn your fingers slightly back. You may need to back your bottom up so you don't have so much weight. So keep spinning your hand, thumbs out, other way. Yes, so turn your thumbs, your fingers as far towards your knees as you can. And it may not be very far, right? And then take inhale and exhale. You may have to sit back a bit to find space in that. And then flip your hands over so that you're on your backs of your hands and your fingers are facing each other. And so you can get the back of your hand down. Yes. That's not comfortable. So you sit back a bit. You sit towards your heels. And inhale and exhale. In which we find out we have stiff joints. See if you can rotate. Now, we're not going to do the inhale and exhale. Just rotate your fingers forward. A little pressure down. Expand out. Glue your fingertips towards the floor. Fingernails towards the floor. And then we're going to turn them all the way out. So your thumbs are going to turn down. And your fingers are going to turn out. And this one, I like to mobilize the shoulders in. Just to feel that space. Okay. So this is wrist therapy stuff. If it's too intense, you can always do it with your hands in front of you, pressing the backs of the hands down into each other. And then release your space. Go back into child's pose or puppy dog. Forearms down, palms up. And this is a place of surrender, but also of acceptance and receptivity. Let your hands just soften. We are going to use the hands a bit in our practice, and so it's nice to give the wrists a little bit of work, but it also brings us into, whoa, that's intense. I don't know if I want to do that. That's usually where I go with it. You can see where you go. Okay, come up hands and knees. And then check in with your spinal space. So think long. You want to draw the inner groins back and the crown of the head forward. Snuggle the shoulder blades onto your back. And if you're a rib dropper, I happen to be, so I pay attention to that a lot in other people's practice. But you want to think about lifting the low ribs up a little bit as you take the tailbone back. Reach your right leg up. And notice if you softened in your one elbow. So see if you can reach the right leg up and keep the arms long. Keep lifting from the inner thigh and manage the outer hip. The outer hip wants to reach towards the sky. You want to keep dropping it down as you reach the inner leg up, 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 up. And then release down this side. And extend the left leg back. Expand through your hands. So while you're working in the legs, you really want to expand the hands, draw the shoulder blades onto the back. So you want to integrate the whole line of the spine, the whole line of the core to help you carry this big old heavy leg back here. Notice that the hip wants to lift up. We all want to look like dogs peeing on fire hydrants a little bit. So drop that hip down, but take the inner thigh up. So this says inner rotation at the hip socket. Inhale and exhale, bring the knee down. Let's add a little bit more movement. We'll just go side to side. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, right leg. Maybe add the left arm, maybe skip the left arm. Exhale, settle down. Inhale, left leg up, maybe add the right arm. Exhale, settle down. And you could decide, hey, I'm just going to work my arms, or I'm just going to work my legs, or I'm going to do both. Right arm, right leg, left arm. Inhale up. Exhale down. Other side. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good work. And we'll go one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And now we're going to hold, which is everybody's favorite idea. Right leg up, left arm out. Extend and hold. Tone through the center. Yeah, reach. Sweep that outer left hip back and turn your left palm so it's going in the same direction. It's facing towards your ear. And see if you can lift your thumb higher. Yeah. So you're integrating the line of the armpit. You're using your latissimus dorsi. Think about that. You're stretching your latissimus dorsi. And then release down. And let's do the other side. Carrie Ann is indicating that she's ready to be done. Roll. That's the nice thing about being at home. Nobody knows when you're done. The teacher might still be talking. Draw the shoulder blades onto your back. Lengthen through. Beautiful. Stay with it. And then release down. And I'm going to have everybody roll around and lie down on their backs. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little comfort, little hug here. Your hug-o-war, where everybody wins. And rock a little side to side, just noticing anything that lit up in your body as we were working in that space. You may notice that your wrists came alive, so you might want to release your knees and rotate in your wrists here. See how fluid that motion can become. And then let's bring the feet to the floor, interlace the fingers in front of us, pop the palms towards the ceiling, draw the shoulder blades onto the back, move those low ribs towards the earth, and reach as far overhead as you can. And then come back towards the ceiling. Inhale here, exhale, reach overhead. Inhale, up towards the ceiling. Exhale, overhead. Trying to track those low ribs down as you go. I get a bigger stretch across the back and into my upper abdominal region. And then bring your hands up towards you. Notice which thumb is on top and switch it out. Turn the palms towards the ceiling. Shrug the shoulder blades onto the back. Inhale. and exhale overhead. Inhale, palms up towards the ceiling fan. Exhale overhead. Inhale, up towards the ceiling fan. Exhale overhead. Inhale, up towards the ceiling fan. Exhale overhead. Stretch, 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 stretch. Push your palms away while you draw those low ribs down. So they want to come up. So see if you can pull into that space, create access into that space. Drag your tailbone long, maybe even press your feet down a bit more so you have this whole back side of the body working with you. Release your arms down and just take them to your sides. We're going to think about creating segmental movement through the spine. So really using one vertebra at a time, seeing if we can lift through there. So it's finer movement. We'll start with 3 pelvic tilts. So as you inhale, let your tailbone drop towards the floor and your belly sort of bow up. And then as you exhale, tailbone comes up. So it's a subtle space. It's not, again, it's not one you're like, oh my gosh, I can totally see them do that. As you inhale, drop your tail down, belly goes up. As you exhale, roll through tailbone. So you're just rolling to the top of your pelvis. Inhale, drop the tailbone down. Exhale, draw the tailbone up. Now, as we go, we'll inhale down. Exhale, start to draw the tailbone up, lift the tailbone off, lift the sacrum off. Then you're going to think L5, L4, L3, L2, L1 into the thoracic, T12. See how far you can get through the thoracic spine. And then we're going to lower back down. I'm probably starting about T7. Lower down to get to T12 and then see, can you make T12 L1 happen all the way down till you get to your coccyx, and then we'll flip back up again. So tailbone goes up first, then the sacrum, whole pelvis comes off, one vertebra at a time. So we're looking for subtlety and access. So core work is not always grunting work. It's about, a lot of the times it's about finding the subtle access. What can I develop? We were talking about Tai Chi around here at the house recently, and why Tai Chi is so good for the body. And it's really that we are fine-tuning. When we practice a slow, gradual movement, we're inviting the, it's not the non-essentials, but we're inviting the muscles that tend to sort of go with the big muscle actions to move individually. And so it's this active discernment that we look for in yoga, that we look for in meditation, but also finding the subtlety in your body. Super great to be able to move one toe at a time, one vertebra at a time. One more time, let's go. See how slowly you can go, how subtly you can move. The spine encases our nervous system. So why not have access to it? Why not claim this part of your amazing human anatomy? Calm down. I'm going to pause, make sure everybody gets down. Nice. I love these subtle actions that are happening. And then let's draw the right knee in towards the chest. And just as I want you to think hands below the kneecap, and then pull down towards you, keeping the shoulders on the earth, keeping the elbows on the earth. Draw your toes, your right toes back towards your face. Squeeze the inner thighs. And see if you can make that long line of the spine here. So the chin draws in, crown of the head reaches away, tailbone goes the other way. We're finding lots of space. Broaden your collarbones, reaching the outside edges of your shoulders down towards the floor. And then release the right foot down and draw the left knee into the chest. Same action, fingers interlace over the shin bone. Draw down, pull the toes back towards your face. Keep the shoulders grounded, and then think about that long line. So the tailbone goes one way, crown of the head goes the other. Maybe you move your little ribs down. I'm going to do that. Maybe you think about the shoulder blades finding deeper purchase on the floor here. Then settle down. Leave your arms at your sides, and we're just going to walk. So draw your right knee into your chest, lower your right foot to the floor. Exhale, left knee into your chest, lower the left foot. Right knee, inhale. Left knee, inhale. Right knee, inhale. Left knee, inhale. This may feel perfect for your body. This little march. You can go ahead and continue with that sense of marching. It's a good practice. And again, finding the subtleties as you go. Or you can ramp it up by extending the right leg and lowering the heel towards the floor, dragging it into you. Bending your left knee, extend the left heel up towards the ceiling, lower towards the floor, glide it along the floor. Right knee, extend, lower, drag along. Left leg, extend, draw the navel point in, low ribs, pull the heel in. We're going to do 3 more cycles. You can be marching in place as we're doing the leg lifting space, or you can join us in that leg lifting. Stay with this idea of engagement through the long line of the spine, through the belly space as you go. Final round. This way, right? Core work is a progressive moment in time. Left leg. And bring it in. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling, fingertips up, shoulder blades onto your back. Lower those low ribs down. We're going to inhale, reach the thumbs towards the floor behind you. Exhale, hands towards the ceiling. Lift your head, plant your chin in your chest, and see how much reach you can get. Inhale, lower down, thumbs overhead. Exhale, fingertips towards the ceiling. Lift your head, slot your chin into your sternoclavicular notch, and then inhale, release down. Exhale, come on up. Now we're doing that roll through in the upper thoracic spine, so the rib cage spine. We're seeing if we can roll how much of the spine we can roll through. Let's do 3 more. This way. And you may notice that you get a whole clunking action. Your 7 vertebrae go down together. Sounds like the intro to a joke. Last one. 7 vertebrae walk into a bar. Release. Arms by your sides. Envision your whole spine. Just see how it's feeling at this moment. Notice if you're getting any tension into your neck. You might want to turn your head one way and bring your neck neutral, nose neutral, the other way. As you're doing that, press the opposite shoulder down towards the floor so you're getting a little bit more into those connective spaces. All right, arms up towards the ceiling, and we're going to combine the upper and the lower with a little twisting action. So we'll reach overhead as we exhale, and then, inhale overhead, exhale towards the ceiling, bring your right knee in, curl up, reach to the outside of your right leg, inhale, release down, overhead, exhale, reach to the outside of your left leg, inhale, release down. So really thinking about that segmental work We're gonna go a few more times because it's oh so much fun. You could choose to upscale it using a long leg. You could say, nope, that creates irritation in my body. I'm not gonna do that. One more time right. And one more time left. Release the feet, release the arms. Let's take the feet as wide as the mat and drop them to one side. Doesn't matter which one. Lift the knees up, drop them over to the other side. Oh yeah, and do that a few times. Again, thinking about making slow movement and just feel how far up the spine can you make this rotation happen. You might look over your opposite shoulder, make eyes at your puppy dog or your kitten that's joined you on your mat space here. Or any small children who are running around. Seems like we've got a lightning in the rain here in Southern California. It feels right now the sky is lighting up.
Oh, lighting in the rain.
All right.
Lightning in the rain.
Not lightning happening. Next time you roll to one side, come all the way up. And we're going to play a little bit with some stuff I learned from Annie Adamson. She's one of my favorite yoga movement teachers and does a lot of somatic work. So we'll come into a seat with one shin in front of you and one foot on the floor. You're going to place your hands on either side of that knee that's sitting sort of in cross-legged space. And you're going to lift your butt up, and then you're going to rock down, bring your knees together, shift feet. So the foot that was planted is now going down, and then you're going to pray, hands on either side, lift your butt up. So we're just lifting and lowering. So I'm gonna say knees, but you decide what happens for you. Lance went ahead. You can't see him in the image, but he grabbed a towel, which was a good call for his body. Drop, and I know our images are switched. And on Zoom I can fix that, but on Facebook Live I can't. Right knee goes down. Frame your right knee. Lift your butt up. Weight goes into your left foot. Roll back. Bring your knees together. Put your left shin down, hands down either side. Lift up. Settle your bottom down. Knees together. We're going to go side to side. You can, I'm going to show you some upscaling options, but you can keep going side to side, just lifting the bum up, finding that space. So this is, we're looking for ways to maintain human movement, okay? The options are to start going without hands. That's option one. Ha ha ha, right? So for some of us that is a total option. For others of us it isn't. So if it isn't, keep your hands placing on the floor, okay? So maybe it's a no, look ma, no hands. Maybe it's not a look ma, no hands. The next thing to add is this pull together, all right? So we'll go right, lift the butt, put your bottom back down, pull your knees together, float your feet off. Put your feet down, left knee goes down, frame your left knee, lift up. Both sides of the bottom down, lift your knees, float your feet. Right shin down, lift your butt. Put your bottom down, knees together, left shin down, frame the knee, lift your butt. Settle down, lift your feet off. So we're going back and forth with this added element of boat pose, Navasana right here. And your Navasana might look a little bit more like hands behind your knees, floating, okay? And I'm going to give you one more crazy idea, and you can say, yeah, that looks like fun, or heck no, okay? So I'm going to show, and then you can decide whether you want to go. And I'm going to get Carrie Ann out of the way, and then I'll get out of the image and they can play. Okay, right shin down, lift up, bottom down, knees up, lift, roll back, come forward, switch knees, lift. So it's a side-to-side motion. Right shin, lift, roll back, left shin, lift. I love doing it. So I do this all day long, but you decide what yours is going to look like, okay? So I'm going to let the two of these guys play. Start with your right shin down, left foot on. Roll forward, lift your bum. Decide, pop back, boat pose, maybe a roll back, maybe skip that, and shift sides. So if you went down with your right shin last time, go down with your left shin this time. And if you get confused, it's okay. It's part of...
Am I confused?
I don't know. Carrie Ann got confused. Lance is confused. Why are we doing this? Let's go one more time to the other side. Whoop. I just think these things are fun to do. I know when we, the idea is that we're developing systems for being able to stand up if we fall down. Yeah. Lance has decided he's down. Awesome. Everybody take a pause. You can take your pause in constructive rest. You can take your pause seated. Take a few breaths. Notice what is beating. What's beating in your body? Your heart. Good. Now his daughter's hand's beating on his belly. Okay. And then we're coming up for a standing moment. You guys have to come up now. What?
Oh, so I'm going to practice.
He's going to practice getting up. Woo! Woo! Look at him go. He loves us. He really, really loves us.
Does he?
Yes. Can't you tell? He's in this picture with us on Facebook Live. Okay, that's love right there, people. That is love. Hands on your hips. Oh. Wake up your legs. Look down at your feet. Make sure your feet are not turning out like little duckies. Carrie Ann, if you have a moment, Carrie Ann has a video recommendation for you about ducks.
You do?
Yeah. We'll tell them about it. Okay.
The duck show.
The ducks. You have to look it up. Who's the comic?
James Beach.
James Beach. Look it up. Just James Beach and ducks. Rubber ducks if you want. Okay? All right. So now, reach your right arm away. Right arm away. And then bring your elbow and knee together. And reach your way. Maybe float your left foot and draw together. I'm going to get into the image. And I know we're opposites. Reach back and then draw a knee and elbow together. And you might decide you want to wall with your left hand. Reach and draw away. Draw together. And then try mixing it up. So reach out, float, inhale here, exhale here, and then inhale as you bring the knee and elbow together, and see if you can fill up your back body. Exhale, reach. Inhale, fill up your back body. You can go towards that cow space. Reach as you exhale. Inhale, draw together. Exhale, reach. We're going to go one more. Inhale, draw together, and then release your foot down. Arm down. Yeah, work. Super fun. Okay. So now it will be, for me, it's right leg. For you, maybe switch. Left arm reaches out, depending on whether you're mirroring me or not. Right leg goes out, and just do with your body. So don't worry about the breath. Just make sure you're not holding your breath. We're reaching arm and leg away. I'm reaching out of the image. It's fun. Reach, and then draw together, and reach, and draw together, and reach, and draw together. Now we're going to reach, inhale here, exhale here, and then we'll inhale and pull together. Exhale and reach away. 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 One more time. Together and away. And then set your foot down. Oh, wiggle your hips around. Just notice where you developed some fun feelings. Okay, step your feet wide. Step your feet wide. Woo! Okay, soften your knees, and we're gonna go side to side. So let's go right arm up and go over to the left. And inhale, come up, drop your right hand down, go over to the right. Inhale up, go side to side. Come to neutral. Release your arms by your sides. We're going to challenge the core a little bit here, challenging into the legs. So spread your toes forward. Get them really active. Lift your toes up. Find the whole sole of your foot. And then we're going to keep the knees a little soft. Hands are going to come to the hips. And we're going to lean forward on our exhale. And then inhale and come up. And your goal at some point is to move with active leg limbs and maybe less, definitely less rounding in the spine. No rounding in the spine if you can manage it. But maybe a straight leg. But you want to listen for the response in your hamstrings, in the backs of your thighs. You want to listen for the response in your, around your bottom and into your lumbar spine. If anything is feeling clenchy, then you've got to bend your knees, okay? Do engage with the belly. Exhaling, reaching forward. Inhaling, coming up. The more you use your feet, the more you hug your heels towards each other, press your feet down, the more you will have the support of the legs. Think about those quadriceps, the fronts of the thighs, really drawing up to support this action. One more. And exhale up. Nice. Shift around. Notice what said hello. And we're going to take a triangle pose. Turn your right toes out. Draw your right quadricep up, 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 up. Push your right calf forward. Let your right hand trail down the inseam of your right leg, reaching towards the ceiling with your left hand, or maybe left hand stays on left hip. And we are core work focused today, so notice as you go low, what happens with your belly? Can you keep it engaged as part of your pose? And then let's come up on the inhale. You might bend your knee to come up. Turn your right toes forward, left toes out. Inhale, exhale, trail down. Inhale and exhale. Notice what your belly's doing, what your outer hip is doing, and then come on back up. We're looking for stabilization. So this is that core integration I keep posting about. So we're going to go side to side. I want you to think less about achieving the pose with any particular depth, and more about that fluidity of movement. I'm going to offer an option with the arms as well. So Lance is going to move side to side. My right foot is turned out. I'm going to, instead of putting the right hand down, you could float the right arm up. Okay. your hand says maybe not, and then switch and come up. So you really have to firmly be in your legs to make that go happen. Towards the right and up. Switch the feet towards the left and up. Switch the feet towards the right and up. Switch your feet towards the left and up. Switch your feet towards the right, final time, and up. Switch your feet towards the left and up. Switch your feet both forward. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, fold. Pasarita Pada Konasana, wide leg forward fold. You can bend your knees. It's going to be our resting space for right now. You can bend your knees a lot. You could walk your hands forward. You can come to a really wide downward facing dog space. You can bend opposite knees and wiggle your hips. Make it yours. So I am not worried about what you are doing at home as long as it feels good to your body. So you get a few breaths of just being a human. You get all your breaths about being a human, but right now, just investigating what feels interesting. Okay? Then let's bring the hands to the thighs. Lift your torso. Climb on up. Walk your feet together. Turn and face the short edge of your mat. And we're going to draw our core work into Yes. We're going to practice the old pose. No. Warrior one. Step right foot forward, left foot back. Okay. And then your toes are about 45 on that left foot in the back, but you could shift it because the goal is right hip back, left hip forward. Woo! Yeah. So you can wiggle these toes around so that feels comfortable. Press down into your back heel, straighten up your back leg. All right. Now see if you can straighten up your forward leg. Bring your hands behind you. Put the backs of your hands on your pelvis. Press forward with the backs of your hands and respond with the front of your belly. You're not going down yet.
Not going down yet.
Not going down yet. Backs of your hands, pushing into, maybe don't keep your wrists long. Yes? Okay. I'm going to fix her. She's going to be great. She'll be so glad she's my kid. Pick up your belly. Yeah. Push the front of your belly into the backs of your hands. Draw the heads of the shoulders back. Pick up your belly button. Inhale. Exhale, lean forward. Maybe you don't lean very far. Inhale, return. Hug the inner thighs together on that return. Exhale, down. Inhale, return. Exhale, down. Inhale, return. If you want to add an element, you reach your left arm up. So you're adding weight over your head. That might be too much. It might be more than you want. You could bend your elbow to the side and keep your chest being really broad as you move. Notice, because it's happening in this house, it happens in my body, as I start reaching with my chin. So think about drawing the chin back, integrating the throat into the spine, and reach more with the crown of the head. Go two more. And then release your hands down, step your feet together, or you can turn forward and switch. We're going to switch legs. So the left foot will be forward, the right foot will be back. And you want to think about, start with the forward knee bent so you can get in, you can bury your back heel into the earth. And you might need to step out right and left. Okay? Think right hip going forward, left hip going back. Bring your hands back to your low back space. Broaden your palms, broaden your fingers. Roll the heads of the shoulders back. Straighten out the forward leg. Inhale. Exhale, glide forward. Inhale, come upright. Exhale, glide forward. Inhale, upright. Exhale, glide forward. Inhale, upright. If you want to upscale it, bring your right arm. I'm asking the question mark. Did we do the same side or opposite side?
Opposite.
We did opposite side. So left arm. Right arm. Right arm up. Opposite arm to your forward leg. How about that? And you get 4 more. And up. So you can straighten this though.
Just watching birds.
We've got good birds outside our forward window. All right, and then come up, bend the forward knee, release your arms down, step the feet together. So this is going to take us into a Virabhadrasana 3, a warrior 3 space. I'm going to take the forward moment again. It's okay. Doesn't matter which foot, I'm just going to demo here. So the work is this front body integration, length, the lean forward, and perhaps the back leg coming up. You may discover that the back foot is not going to come off the floor today. Maybe a lift up, toes off slightly, and settle back down. But I want you to think about making that long line in the front body, all this core integration that we've been doing, so that you might be able to hold yourself parallel to the earth. Okay? So right foot forward, left foot back. Bend into your forward knee. Take your hands back behind you. Roll the shoulders back. Think about that kick back we did very early in the class where we dug the toes under and lifted the front of the thigh. These guys are going for it. And then exhale, settle yourself back. We're just going to explore towards it 5 times. Or if you have a more advanced practice and you want to hold it for 5 breaths, go for it. Exhale, forward. Inhale, step back. Just moving in your body. These guys decided to hold. If you're holding, think about dropping, the back hip down slightly, reach up with that inner thigh, outer hip back, and integrate through that front line. Release yourself back. Reach your arms up just for a little relief. Light levity, a little levity here, and then step the feet together, release your arms by your sides, and switch. Left foot forward, right foot back. Bend into your forward knee so you can find that long line from the front of the right thigh, so you're really lifting up. Think about that moment. We were on the floor, we were lifting the knees off. I want you to find that space in your body. And then we'll take the hands behind us, lift the belly, float forward, and come back. Try at least 2, floating forward and coming back. And then on the third one, if you want to hold it for a few breaths, feel free. Find that core integration. Imagine you're digging those back toes into the floor and lifting your knee up. Do that space. Then wrap the outer hip back. Whew. Yes, it is work. It is work. Oh. All right. And then release. Beautiful. Okay. I want to take a twisting space here, and then we will come down towards the floor. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Twisting space. Let's take, you might want the wall. Right knee in towards your chest. Grab it with your left hand, so your right hand might want the wall. Turn to the right. Think about your standing leg. Resist your knee into your hand into your knee. Draw the shoulder blades back. Breathe a few times. And then come out. That wasn't a few times to breathe, was it? All right, weight into your right foot. Left knee comes up. Left hand may have the wall, right hand gets the knee. Roll the shoulders back, turn to the left. Push knee into hand, hand into knee. Drop your outer left hip down, maybe your ribs move back. Broaden across the collarbones. Smile maybe. Inhale, come back. All right. From this space, reach your arms up, inhale. Exhale, release your hands towards the floor. Bend your knees. Hands to the floor. Walk them out, walk them out, walk them out. You might come to down dog. You might set your knees down. So you gotta turn, dude.
I'm not allowed to walk out into
No, you're not allowed to create chaos. Sometimes she's a force for love and kindness and all kinds of stuff done. And sometimes she's a force for chaos. Sometimes. That's why we have kids, so we can have chaos. We can know what it feels like. Bend your knees a lot. Take your bum up towards the sky. Take your chest towards your thighs. Oh, yeah. And then everybody slide forward. Bring your knees down. Drop down to your forearms. Bring your hands together. You can interlace if you want, or you can just press your palms together. Walk your elbows so they're underneath your shoulders. Yeah, so walk them in slightly, okay? Now, lift that, rib cage, lift the low belly. Take your right leg back, tuck your right toes under. Okay, we're headed towards a plank. You might decide this is as much plank as you want, all right? See if you can take your left foot back, left toes under. You might discover, hey, I can do this. This is awesome. You may discover this is more than you want, and you can put both knees down. Think about creating that long line in the spine, and we're going to be here and breathe. Shoulder blades together. See if you can lower your bottom to the line of your shoulders. While keep kicking up with your inner thighs. Breathing. Reach out through your outer heels. The dog is whimpering about this. And then let's lower the pelvis down. And you can come towards Sphinx pose. So elbows under shoulders, draw the shoulder blades together, lift the chest. And we're going to move between those two spaces. I'm going to come occupy some space in front of the camera. So here is the Sphinx. Inhale. Tuck the toes. Exhale. Plank. Inhale. Sphinx. Exhale. Plank. Inhale. Sphinx. Exhale. Plank. Inhale. Sphinx. Exhale, plank. If it's enough, you stay. If it's too much, you put your knees down. If you need more, you lift a leg. If you're lifting a leg, you switch legs. Lower down. Maybe one spinal sphinx. Before you say, yep, I'm done, and lower all the way onto your belly. So check in with your body right now. See how it's feeling. And notice what would feel nurturing for you. Would it feel nurturing to bend your knees and let yourself windshield wiper? Ice cream. We're on ice cream right now. We did a 2-week shopping trip, and we did not buy ice cream on purpose, but doesn't eliminate the desire to have not purchased ice cream. Or would crime scene pose feel more nurturing? Decide. So that crime scene pose is that knee up to the side. That might feel better. We're going to take about 10 breaths. So maybe you do a little bit of either side to side, and then you do crime scene pose, either side. Or maybe you lie there and fight with your father. Maybe you lie there and enjoy not moving for a little bit. I think each of us finds a developmental age at some point that we just think is awesome. I really enjoyed being 10. That was a fun one for me. Lance and Carrie Ann have converged right now. It's pretty exciting. Okay. Go ahead and roll over onto your back. We're going to take a restorative bridge pose. So, yeehaw. If you have towels nearby, a couple of thick books, blankets, a firm pillow, then you might use that. I have folded up some towels pretty firmly here, pretty small, and I'm gonna have Lance push down with his feet and lift his butt up. And I'm gonna drop this underneath his bottom, and he's gonna tell me if that feels like it's too high. He's doing the old shrug, so I'm assuming it's okay. Put the knee, the feet down, and you'll lift your hips up, slide whatever prop you have underneath, and relax. There is an option here. We're gonna be here for a bit. So I'm a bit. Aha, joke. I think it's a computer joke. I'm gonna be here for a bit or a bite. Okay.
It's like you have a little bit, and it's like a little comedy scene. That's a bit. Let's do this right now. This is a bit.
This is not a bit. She thinks this is a bit. She's wrong. You're gonna let your pelvis settle. I'll be dealing with her later. You have a couple of options. One is to experiment with extending a leg. So we're looking to stretch all the places that we were strengthening. So you extend perhaps your right leg all the way down and let your heel settle on the floor. We're to the soothing, hopefully, portion of class. So you don't want to feel a lot of work through the muscles anymore. We're looking to stretch. Do press that heel down and reach your tail towards the heel. If this feels good, you could try for both legs at once. If that's not good, then go one leg at a time, or skip that space. You could stay just with your pelvis lifted. That may feel perfect for your body.
Second blanket. Fine.
Yeah,
It's okay, right?
it's okay to have a second blanket.
I'm allowed, right?
She's allowed to have a second blanket.
Maybe block.
Maybe a block. I'm gonna get her some toys. You guys stay and breathe. Switch feet if you're doing one leg at a time. The next option is to take a hip stretch here. So you keep the pelvis right where it is. Draw one knee in towards your chest. Cross that ankle over your opposite knee and push away. If you're preferring the legs extended space, you could do that as well. As you do this hip stretch, make sure that both sides of the pelvis are evenly pressing into whatever you're lifted on. If you're doing the hip stretch version, go ahead and switch. Other knee in, cross ankle over thigh, push away, reaching away. This one's damp.
It's just
It's too much.
it's too much.
It's too much.
Just be padding.
No, you can have padding, just not so much.
So what are you not controlling that love, but you're not even controlling that love? Both fine idea.
If you're doing the hip stretch, release the hip stretch. The third place you could explore is the legs up space. So you might choose to take one leg up towards the sky. So we're going into an inversion now. Yeah, or you could take both legs. So if you're going one leg, think 5 breaths for each leg. If you're going 2 legs, stay for 10. It helps if you can dig the elbows down and get the whole upper arm bone down, and then squeeze those shoulder blades together so you're pushing. We're doing the opposite space for the thoracic spine. The thoracic spine curves forward. We're pressing into it, lifting the sternum and pushing the heads of the shoulders down so you get all this innervation across the chest. And traditional Chinese medicine, we have pressure points, we have meridian points in the chest and armpit for the heart, lungs, and pericardium. So when we're doing actions that press the elbows down and broaden the collarbones, we're innervating those meridian points, those health lines for the heart, pericardium, and lungs. When you've done your 10 breaths of legs up exploration, then come down. Decide if you want to stay with your hips lifted a little longer. Maybe you want to go towards a wall and do legs up. Maybe you're ready to get rid of your towel or your block and lower your body towards the floor. Lance is taking some twisting options. You might want some twisting options as well. And then settle yourself down for your Shavasana space. So letting your body come long towards the floor. You might throw that towel underneath your knees if your back's hurting. Our next poem is from Billy Collins, from his collection 9 Horses. It's called Absence. This morning, as low clouds skidded over the spires of the city, I found next to a bench in a park an ivory chest piece. The white night, as it turned out, and in the pigeon ruffling wind, I wondered where all the others were, lined up somewhere in their red and black squares, many of them feeling uneasy about the salt shaker that was taking his place, and all of them secretly longing for the moment when the white horse would reappear out of nowhere and advance towards the board with his distinctive motion, stepping forward, then sideways, before advancing again. The same move I was making him do, over and over in the sunny field of my palm. Let yourself find your natural rhythm, your own personal gait as you settle into Shavasana. Our last poem is a poem by Carl Dennis from a collection of his new and selected poems. Useful advice. Suppose you sat writing at your desk between days, long before dawn, the only one up in town, and suddenly saw out the window a great star float by, or heard on the radio sweet voices from wandering Venus or Neptune a little hello from the voids. Who would believe you in the morning unless you practiced for years a convincing style? So you must learn to labor each day. Finally, a reader may write he's certain whatever you've written or will write is true. Then all you need is the patience to wait for stars or voices. Notice where your practice has taken you and whether you need to stay in this space. If you are ready for a little bit of meditation, you will move your fingers and your toes and draw your knees into your chest and slowly bring yourself to your side and then up to a seat. To your side. That's the only way I can get up now, huh? Side. Sit tall in your spine. Bring your gaze inward. Experience your breath as the only thing that is moving you right now. Call this next inhalation 100. And the exhaling 99. 98 to inhale. 97 to exhale. 96 to inhale. 97 to exhale. Keep going. Stay in your breath as we leave you, or bring your hands together towards your heart and lift your heart up, and then bow your head. Send out so much gratitude for the current strength and state of your body. For all of the things that you can do. Send out a pulse of gratitude for everyone who is keeping our lives moving forward. The delivery people, the mail people, the restaurant workers, grocery store workers, the healthcare workers, thank them for their bravery. Just as you thank yourself for being brave enough to feel your breath and feel your body in space. The light in me celebrates that very same light in each and every one of you. Wishing you all a beautiful Friday, an amazing weekend inside, and we'll be back on Monday for more gentle yoga. Have a great weekend, guys.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.